Our first guest for Vaudeville 87 third act in October is Mr. Daniel Thompson. There's a lot I can tell you about Daniel Thompson because there's a lot to say. But I'm not going to say any of it except he's well known as a poet and he's not going to read poetry. And he's going to talk to you a little bit about pork barrel polities because of whether it has the name of pork or it doesn't. You can recognize it. Lame Duck and Borky Bigot, Daniel Thompson.
I just want to loosen up a little. All about Ronnie, there's so much to tell. All about Ronnie, I know him so well. His magical fingers, their sense of embrace, his whisper that lingers, caressing your face. All about Ronnie, that's told in a toast. Let me propose it, he's my favorite host. We'll drink from dry glasses, there's no need for wine. The champagne is Ronnie, and Ronnie is mine.
Ronnie, what are you doing in the middle of the night listening to Frank Sinatra? Are you having another one of your attacks? A sense of loss of self-esteem? You having that recurring dream that people are dying now that never died before?
I know, I had a dream about America. In my dream, blacks and whites were eating together at the same lunch counters. Oh, I don't mind that. If the owners don't, I just don't like the reasoning that got me there. And, why, married couples were using conundrums, and artists and poets were creating and saying anything they wanted to with immunity. I thought only Colonel North got immunity. Why, one poet said that the Constitution was established to promote the general welfare, not the welfare of the generals. And there's all those limp wrists out there holding placards, demanding rights, and there's so many obscenities and graffiti in the schools. No school prayer, no, not school prayer. People, no poll tax and no literacy test. People are voting who can't read. Of course, maybe that's how I got elected. But my hands are bound by checks and balances. And I dreamt I was invading Nicaragua, and it turned out to be Grenada. Oh, my plans were aborted. Yes, abortion is legal. Yes, they should be using the conundrums of it. And then, everything. It was terrible, especially the women, all the women. Oh my God, all the women are uppity. Why, I dreamt that there was a woman on the Supreme Court.
Ronnie, you appointed her.
I must have been asleep. Asleep at the wheel. I dreamt that a woman ran for vice president. I dreamt there was even a woman in the White House making all the important decisions.
Ronnie, that's not a dream. That's reality.
Oh my God. What would the Founding Fathers say? What would the Founding Fathers? I used to sit on their lap when I was a child. I'll never be able to look them in the eye again. Boy, if we had a time like the Founding Fathers, the Founding Mothers, they couldn't get abortions then. They couldn't vote. And the blacks, yes, 3/5 of the NFL and the NBA and the National American Leagues would be slaves and no free agents. But, Abe freed them. I was in his room the other night. He was a Republican too, yes, and I'd like to be like Abe, actually. Abe said that, I was in the living room and he said, a house divided, house divided's hard to sell. No, he said, anyway, this is my house and this is the White House and my property's being attacked. I need someone to protect me from all the red commie cockroaches and all the black-hearted liberal rats eating the federal cheese, the Reagan cheese, and all the gay vermin are coming out of the closets and the woodwork down into the rest of the House and Senate, and those feminist pre-termites are gnawing at the foundations of the Republic. I need protection. I need some man. Who can I call? Oh, I know who I can call. I can call the Borkin Man. The Borkin Man. He'll rid America of everything that bugs me.
Ronnie, what are you doing?
Don't you hear that, Nancy? What are they saying out there? Those protesters out in front of the White House. What are they saying? Oh, they're saying something about pork barrel politics.
No, Ronnie, Bork Peril.
Here we are at the White House for a press conference with the President of the United States. I don't know if the President is interrupting his vacation or whether he's between vacations, but his controversial nomination of Robert H. Bork for the Supreme Court has forced him to give a press conference. You know he doesn't like to give a press conference because after every press conference they rush him over to Walter Reed Hospital for a nose operation. It seems 2 or 3 inches have to come off his nose every time he's in front of the American public. But some wits of the White House have called this the adventures of lame duck and Borky bigot. Oh, here comes President Reagan now. Ladies and gentlemen, the President of the United States. Clark Kent of the Daily Planet. You can ask the first question. Go ahead. Sir, I'm no longer with the Daily Planet. I moved back to my hometown, Cleveland. I'm now with the Cleveland Pain Dealer. Well, go ahead, Clark. Well, sir, in view of the controversy stirred up by your nomination of Robert H. Bork, if he's nominated, and he's confirmed, what will that mean for America? That's all, folks. Well, what folks should be especially concerned about this? Well, that's all, folks. Well, sir, in view of the fact that he always sides with big business against consumers and with states' rights against individual rights, and the fact that he wants to expand the presidency so that we would even have a monarchy, is that why you nominated? Well, listen, I really wanted other constitutional lawyer, Ollie North, a better shred than Red Ollie. But listen, what's left of the left in America and the nervous Nellies of liberal persuasion have painted Robert H. Bork as a reactionary. Well, that's simply not true. Oh yes, he'll take us back a little ways. Didn't I just take you back with the Iran-Contra affair, back to the 70s, to Watergate? Well, he'll just take us back to the 60s. The peace and love 60s, wear flowers in your hair, and there'll be beans again in America. Sir, Borky bigot, if Robert H. Bork is confirmed that there'll be beans in America? Yes, haven't you heard of Bork and beans? Loosen up, lighten up, come on, you liberals. Us ideologues, we got the real sense of humor here. Well, actually, you have nothing to worry about because recently I was at the harmonica convention and wait, my AIDS, not those kind of AIDS, my presidential AIDS. Oh, I was at not the harmonica convention. I was at the harmonic convergence. I was at the harmonic convergence at Mount Rushmore, communing with John Wayne and William O'Casey, and well, you know what Duke said, he said, Dutch, when you go before Congress, when you go up on the hill, they're going to try to turn that into Pork Chop Hill or Chop Bork Hill. But remember, we clean the commies out of Hollywood, and we can clean the commies out of Washington, D.C. The Capitol, we can clean them out. Duke likes those cruel and unusual puns. He wants to teach him what the capital punishment really means. And then William O'Casey said, Dutch, it doesn't matter what happens on the hill. Because, there's a shadow government. presidency outside the presidency, and there's a Supreme Court outside the Supreme Court. And there, in the shadows, in the primeval, primitive, primordial, political muck, Bork will live. In the heart of darkness, Bork will survive. Wait a minute, Bill. I said, back up. You said there's a presidency outside the presidency? Who's really president? Is it that the man with the 5 o'clock shadow? The man with the 5 o'clock shadow, is he president of the shadow government? You mean, no, he resigned. Well, you mean Ford is president? No, that football airhead, no. The president of the shadow government is Agnew. And Agnew wants Bork, because Agnew and Bork are from the same bestiary. Oh my God. Ronnie, what's wrong? You having another nightmare? Oh my God, my nominations are starting to scare even me. I got to withdraw, Bork. I need someone I feel more compatible with, someone more comfortable, someone that's been with me all the way, through the good and lean years and all the in-between years. Come what may. I know who I'll nominate. I'll withdraw Bork and nominate Dr. Frank Sinatra. That's what America needs, swinging justice. And at night he can sing to me and we can talk about the old days in Hollywood. Well, I stopped in the 60s. We'll go back to the 50s. We'll go back to the 40s. You mean when you were a Democrat and married to Jane Wyman? Well, no, we won't go back that far, no. We'll just go back to Hellcats of the Navy, Nancy Davis. Oh, we can take the Persian Gulf, just the two of us. And with Frank, why everybody loves Frank. Well, not everybody. That Doonesbury character, Trudeau, he's married to Jane Pauley, and she works for NBC. NBC is owned by Genocide Electric. I'll just make a phone call. Yeah, that's what America's all about. Yeah, that's what friends are for. And so now, before my mind turns completely to malevolent mush, I'm going to read a poem. I'd like to thank Robert H. Bork for not throwing in the towel so I can still do this bit. I've been working with the Anti-Bork Coalition, and I've met a lot of women that I've been working with, and they've really been out there on the streets getting those postcards signed. And I'd like to finish with a poem dedicated to them. It's called Women at the River's Edge. When woods turn into words, and the words yellow under the sun's thumb, in the pools of dead air, on a dog day in a deaf year, then women at the river's edge, their hearts beating wildly, smash their lives without permission on the blind rocks sharpened by the mind's eye. Broken, bred on silence, their hearts heal in the river's dance, time and again rising in love's anger toward the danger on the map. Thank you.
Daniel Thompson from Cleveland. Thank you, Daniel. You're saying things that some of us are thinking and don't have the nerve to say. And saying it well.
Now my dog goes.
All right.